the Fnatic on in draft is that we have a lot of problems. Try to find answers for it. So I kind of feel like during the draft, Falcons, they need to have one answer that can solve multiple problems. But again, it's easier said than done.
Way easier said than done,
Yeah.
right? But Fnatic Onyx, they somehow make it work. They're always able to execute these very difficult compositions. Because if you give this kind of composition to anyone else, it'd be very hard to pull off. I even remember in MPO Indonesia when the assassins were meta, where it was still the utility jungle meta, and they popped off on the assassins.
Yeah.
It looked ridiculous because on paper this should not be a composition that could win.
Yeah, I think maybe it's, if we're gonna be looking at back at the draft, maybe this is a composition versus composition kind of counter, not more of a hero versus hero counter. Wherein if you want to go for countering the Ling, maybe just get another side laner that can split push like the Benedetta, for example, and the four other members will just go and group up and then just push and siege towers over and over. I think they tried to go for that play too. And Harith, Edith, Valentina with their jungler, that definitely can snowball off of sieging towers, then let Ding take over. However, Lutpi made it difficult. It kind of paralyzed Ding in that regard, where he just really kept Ding in place.
So many layers.
Yeah, I gotta say, looking at this match in particular, I kind of feel like we have to give attention to the side lanes, both EXP as well as the gold lane, because even though, yes, the mid trio for both teams were very impressive indeed, but it looks like the playmakers are coming from the side. So I really want to see how Falcon may have to give a little bit more room to Ding and maybe move around with him to really secure a big team fight win against Fnatic on it, because at this point, maybe that's what they need. Maybe they need to take out 3 members at a time to really take advantage of the map. But now the draft has started. Fnatic Onyx is going to be first pick, Falcon second pick, Fnatic Onyx instantly banning out the Faramis.
See, this was one of the big weakness points for Fnatic Onyx coming into the playoffs. When teams would be able to take that red side away from them, it took away the side that, obviously Yeb is most comfortable on.
Yeah.
But through the playoffs, when we got to the later stage, they could play both sides. They could play both sides effectively. And I would say on the blue side, they're even more dominant when it comes to just forcing these big picks off. Because now you don't have to get rid of the chip. Now some of these picks you can actually take for yourself.
That's
so
right.
now Falcons have technically put themselves in a spot to be dictated. Like, it's all Fnatic Onyx right now.
But then again, you give yourself a,
You give that reactivity.
You give yourself a fighting chance, and that's all that matters in
Look at
there,
that.
right? Gotta adjust it. Edith going to be banned. You're forced to ban the Julian and the Chip. Between Louis and Chip, I think you would rather give up the Louis at this point, because Chip is just so good at the metagame that we have right now. With all of the new items, like imagine a Chip with a Sky Piercer kind of damage dealer to go with it, with the bonus damage. It's just ridiculous amount of damage. Think about a Chip here if you're Falcon Esports.
Honestly, Chip with Sky Piercer is crazy enough that I actually like it.
Chip with Sky Piercer?
Chip with Sky Piercer.
The base damage early is insane.
Yeah. No, like imagine, like after 2 minutes, just jumping inside the jungle, and then even with the first kill, imagine the first kill getting a triple kill.
Yeah. Falcons think so too.
Yeah, Falcons think so too. It's like, yo, Sky Piercer and Chip is scary.
Public service warning, don't try this at home.
Try it in your friend's home.
Try it in your friends' ranked games. See how they like that.
Okay, so I guess you banned Valentina here if you're Fnatic Onyx, or they banned Louis themselves. They want to take the Harith, I believe. Fnatic Onyx allows CW to flourish that, but Fnatic Onyx is gonna be crazy enough if to pick up Ling when Harith and Ling is available.
Are they crazy enough to go for Angela? Just Angela first pick, right? Because that has been what Fnatic Onyx has been doing in MPLID?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think they're a team that they're one of the few teams that can do that.
Yeah.
But then again, I think they will only do that if the Valentina is not an option for the opposing team. You just give up so much. You lose the lane because you're Angela going up against Valentina. You give up a good ultimate hard guard. Allows him to get up close and personal. So with that, with this kind of draft, I would say Ling should be the option for Fnatic Onyx. The safest play is Harith first pick. But the Fnatic Onyx way is either Angela or Ling. I would say Ling is the choice here.
What about the Roger, though, right? The fact that the Roger is still up for grabs as well. I think it's as Prio. Okay, the Harith still comes up. Still super Prio despite the fact, you know, in wildcard, we got a different treatment.
I would say the win rate isn't really on Harris' favor, but again,
I think wildcard was 0%.
Hey. 0 is better than negative.
I don't think you can get negative.
Moskov and Arlet, perhaps, the answer. I would say. Definitely Moskov is a hero of consideration going up against Harith, because he'll just win the lane afterwards.
I mean,
they go Ling and Arla. Okay, so this is yeah, they're picking up the
Same
draft. Will Fnatic pick up the Valentina? Probably.
I think they should. At this point, perhaps Fnatic Onyx, they should pick up the Valentina.
Yeah, Valentina to go with perhaps a Terizla. They've picked up Fanny.
Oh. We can even hear the crowd's reaction.
Fanny Valen, come on, Fanny Valen. Show it up, show it.
I mean, you can challenge, you can try to go for the Ling pick, right? But that's only an open challenge to Fnatic Onyx. They're like, all right, if you want to go Assassin versus Assassin, we want that too. We want to go for a damage dealer, a physical damage dealer in the jungle. That's usually always the case when they go for the Herald.
Yeah. Really thinking about Valen here. Oh, they picked Terizla as also prescribed. Falcon, will they pick up the Angela this time? That's a problem though.
Pick up the Angela and ban the Valentina?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I feel like. It's going to be the best option here for Falcon. Apart from that.
But I don't know, like personally for me, I really don't like playmakers like Goodnight picking up heroes like the Angela.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah, so even if they pick it up, perhaps give it over to the Roamer, because Angela can do work in the mid lane. I know, I get it, but it's like cutting off someone's potential, you know?
That's right.
But if you do that, either way, right? You go and give super, you know, the Angela, then Fnatic Onyx will cut down on all the frontliners, and they're going to have a good time with all the damage output that they have in their composition. So technically now, with the Angela too, I mean, you get so much more sustain for your Ling, but it's kind of one-dimensional in a way where the Ling needs to succeed.
Yeah.
If the Ling gets shut down in the early game with an Angela, it'll lead to one-dimensional. So go for more, you know,
more
team fighting.
Oh, dude, it really makes a lot of sense here. Tigreal is, you know, it's a sleeper pick in a way that people, just don't consider it, but it's definitely good versus Assassins.
I mean, like, here's the thing. Like, Assassins is good and all, but we got to remember how in game number 1, CW was amazing on that Beatrix, and doesn't Harv want Purify anyways? Like, it might be an answer towards the Fanny, but I feel like, again, you got to have one option that answers multiple questions, and I kind of feel like it's not really an answer towards the Harif.
That's why I feel like a lot of teams up against Fnatic Onyx, they tend to overthink, they tend to overcomplicate things up against Kyrie. They always think about, all right, how do we counter Kyrie? And then they forget about CW. Because even in the previous game, I feel like that's what happened. They were focused on Kyrie, all right, on the Ling. We got to catch him, we got to get Sans as well. How do we counter Keyboy? And then CW just comes in, gets a Savage.
Yeah, again, I want to be proven wrong, but I feel like they should respect the finals MVP of Fnatic on it. They should respect CW. If they don't have an answer at all, it's going to be a bit tough.
I wonder what the answer will be. Maybe somewhere along the lines of a hard lockdown from the EXP lane, or a combo with the Arlet. But then again, you already know the Arlet is going to explode, right? So maybe a burst mage. And what is that? The Farsa, for example, Kadira perhaps. If Kadira Tigreal would be good. I might be forced for a Valentina. Or maybe just go the farming route. Let's just farm it out. Let's go for Angela in the mid lane, and then let's go for a Beatrix. I wonder if Falcon play.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah, Vixana is not that big of a burst, but it's still okay in this comp, right?
And you got a lot of CC to play with the Vengeance.
But there's Fanny. It's difficult.
That's the problem.
It's difficult.
Yeah,
to
it
play
is
the
difficult.
Vex.
Oh, you know what? Go full crazy. Odette.
Oh,
right?
That's actually a pretty good pick,
right?
actually. Yeah,
go crazy.
Yeah, it's actually really good versus the Harith.
Yeah.
I love it. And with Implosion, that's a great combo. Yeah, that's a really nice pick if they do pick it up.
The Fanny as well and the Tigreal. Technically, everybody who wants to dive, they all get punished by the Odette, especially
that's right.
You said, they have layers of CC, the Implosion, even the final slash to knock them all in to the Swan Song.
Yeah. Man, okay, so I wonder if there's this argument for Zask, but I think it might be for Fnatic Onyx this time. Ling hates that hero because he just constantly gets outplayed, and if you go down, like, if you don't have the first skill, if you're just walking through, you're gonna be just, you know, be destroyed by that Zask. So, Falcons, they ban out the Valentina, obviously.
They already have a magic damage dealer, right?
Yeah.
So technically, they can put Sans on an Angela,
Yeah.
and then they could actually just amplify how much of a threat the Fanny can be, the Hereth can be. A lot of possibilities still for Fnatic Onic, but that possibility technically is also up for grabs for Falcons.
Exactly, that's the first pick.
But it's going to be on Good Night.
Yep. I think they might be forcing the Angela. They might be forcing the hand on Angela here. Angela Tigreal, not the best combination actually in the mid lane. So that puts him in a very awkward spot.
Because where's the damage going to come from?
Yep.
Exactly.
Right? Ling needs the Berserk Fury as well.
Odette might be, or maybe they just settle for the Vex and just try to outplay it. Vex with Arlet is also pretty good. They go Beatrix, as we did say. Okay, come on, Fnatic, give us the Zask. Apart from that, the Grok looks really good for Fnatic. Minotaur as well looks really good. And Franco also looks good for Fnatic, just so that they can counter the Ling.
Honestly, I do like the Minotaur, like, have a teamfight comp that doesn't need the Fanny.
Yeah.
How good would it be if it was a Cho here?
Cho, yeah.
Cho is pretty good too.
All right, they go for the Grok. That's a safer choice. You go for instant initiation. You can kind of cancel the Tigreal as well with the Power of Nature and then straight into the Wild Charge. So a lot of different ways to counter this composition with the Grok, but final pick.
Zask or Nana for me. I know it's crazy. They might just settle for a Vex so that, you know, you have a...
Or an Angela.
Or an Angela.
Angela, yeah.
You still have the reach for the Beatrix. That sounds boring. Let's, you know...
Spice it up a bit.
Spice it up a bit.
They go for Aurora.
Yeah.
All right, all right.
Spicy enough.
Spicy enough, but she's technically not spicy.
Yeah.
She's cold. She's ice. She's ice cold, bro.
Yeah. Okay, so... I hope they're the team that picks up the Odette. But then, this Aurora pickup, as well as the Grok, kind of really gives you that go signal to just go back for the Vex. Vex, Angela, and like I said, the Odette.
I feel like the Angela's problem is that you don't have enough damage. They go for the Lunox.
Yeah, okay, this is the least that I would think of because usually when you go for the Lunox, there has to be a vehicle somewhere along the lines of a chip or maybe a Matilda so that you can initiate. Lunox is very slow. Against the Fanny, I'm not sure if that will fare well.
Well, the thing is, Wolf is not a big fan of the Lunox pick. We got to ask the casters, how do you guys feel about the Lunox pick?
So maybe the Lunox is the answer that Falcon is looking for to even the odds against the tournament favorite in Fnatic Onic. Leon Gideon back again at the desk here to bring you the second game of this best of two. I don't know if you like the Lunox, because I'm here for it. Maybe they can make it work.
I think the Lunox is actually not too bad in these types of compositions, right? Because at the end of the day, it's really going to come down to how do you team fight. And with so many initiation tools, the Brilliance alone is really, really powerful in these sorts of cases where you just want to dodge the damage and then maybe make a play afterwards with maybe the Darkening, take out those frontliners, and really deals a good amount of damage, especially to Terizla with that Body of Smith passive.
And here we'll see how they use that in the early to make up for it, because this is the kind of mage you want to see on Good Night. Good Night is an anchor and a core for Team Falcons in any of their iterations, and now they're going to need to get him online. Oh, look at this, an early fight.
Okay, they're going to be pushing Kibo as quickly as possible, but Kyrie gets in the middle of the mix. Good Night, forced to flicker away. This is what we're talking about, right? This is how dangerous it is in these early stages of the game. Anybody could go down and could start the snowball.
And up top, you see the 1v1 between Ding and Lutpi, both bruisers, both CC specialists, especially when it comes down to these bigger team fights. And wow, check this out. Sans, I don't think you could do that with maybe with a Valentina, but you couldn't do that with a Vexana. Not at that range.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I think that, like, Aurora is very similar in this position to the Lunox, right? With that Pride of Ice passive, being able to, like, tank a good amount of damage, but at the same time, have an option of maybe escaping when you're getting doved on by Kenji, for an example. I think there might be some ways that Fnatic Onic can get really creative with the way they play this comp.
Yep, checking out the opening builds here. I think this is Ding now, understanding the dynamic between who's the beatdown. He builds an early Dreadnought armor. Oh, super.
He's gone here. That's going to be first blood instantaneously. Kyrie finds it. Just wrong place, wrong time, right? There's nothing much you can really say about that. They're trying to open up the map, but as soon as they saw it, Super, he already missed out on his flicker. Can't do much about it.
And he was in too deep. There wasn't really anywhere for him to go. And there were other members of Fnatic Onic in the vicinity. So that opens up this first hurdle of the game. No one making moves quite yet. You'll see here, it's Super who goes ahead and checks in. And so far,
I don't think they're going to fight.
Yeah, just wailing away.
I personally don't think they want to fight here. I think that Team Falcons, like, Goodnight is about to hit level 4, but at the same time, Fnatic Onic, right, you can see that Kyrie, he's ready to jump in. Oh, here comes Mlbb with penalty zone onto Ding straight away. Good frigid breath from Sands, instantly securing that kill. But Kyrie, oh wait, the entire backline ends up dying. Kenji getting hit by the wild charge from Key Boy because of a flicker play. Really nicely done. You blink, you miss it, and the next to fall Super. That's a double for Sands.
It was a 0-frame wild charge. Again, you don't even have to blink. It really just happened in an instant, and next thing you know, your hero can't even move. Now down bottom, looks like Lark and Goodnight looking for a revenge kill on the CW while they can. Since he's not built up quite yet, you're looking at a 3-minute game, 4-0 already, with Fnatic Onic 2,000 gold ahead. That's what's allowing Keyboy here to bother oh, look at that. He made the orange buff make a lap, man.
Gosh, and it's past the 2 minutes, so he's allowed to do it. He's like, yes, the one thing that I've been enjoying, just messing with junglers, ruining their days.
Oh, and Super's trying to repair that, like, I need to hold this down for Kenji. And you're looking at a Ling, man. It's not like they changed anything in Ling's dynamics. Like, that's still an assassin. That's still a hero that needs a lot of build-up. Now, Keyboy in trouble, wild charge out.
Instantly out. Oh, but he gets pulled back in by the final slash, though. Sans does drop down the ult as well. Okay, so now Super all by himself has to flicker away, has no escape mechanics, and Kyrie picks him off for free.
Frigid Glacier, enough to find that trap, the counter engage. And still, Team Falcons left high and dry. Nothing to their name, 5-0. This lead is growing, man. We're looking at almost 3,000 ahead for the Indonesian 4-time champion squad, the defending MSC champions. Let's look what the items look like as of now. Chewe rocking that Starlium Scythe already. That just needs to get updated real quick. And as well, you see Bladed Heptases on the Kyrie.
And so far, the resources are coming out of Team Falcons. Kenji, Super, and even Lark, all using valuable resources. And Fnatic, honestly, don't have to do too much. Their presence alone is so lethal.
And here you'll see, just now, Mlbb built up to a War Axe. And again, you're playing on 2 different axes of who's offensive and who's defensive. And Fnatic Onic are just always on the right side of that argument, always on the right side of that coin. And now check this out. Oh, look at the show of dominance from Kyrie pushing Kenji out of his own jungle.
Oh, down on the bot side, CW finds the kill onto Super. They might want to go a little bit more here. And CW, he's down for it. He's got to help Key Boy. He just needs to bide some time. But now Kenji might be the next to fall here. Mlbb, he doesn't mind. Oh, dodge the damage. He still has flicker. Penalty zones to secure it. Hey, Lark, wait. He finds a trade on to CW.
All right. Maybe bottom is where Falcons find
Do it.
redemption, but not gonna happen. All right, amazing work again, Mlbb. Say what you will about him coming in to repair a tough situation for Fnatic Onic about 2 or 3 months ago, but now here he is, a mechanical beast, a flicker cancel. Penalty zone, it's amazing!
Yep, Mlbb has been building up so much confidence from the regular season to the playoffs to winning their own individual regions league to now coming to an international and really showing off why they were put on the map in the first place. Here comes the dive. We see, oh, Lark forced the flicker out straight away. Kyrie has so much damage. It's not even close right now.
I don't blame Lark trying to find a way to retreat there. He was trying to get some damage, and now Keyboy gets a kill on him. Goodnight in trouble, forced to use the brilliance.
He gets out of there okay, but oh, they fight all 3, the final slash as well. This is the play that they've been looking for. Ding finds Kyrie. CW does get Genji to stop the initial push, but they've traded equally here. 2 for 2 in that engagement. What a great play coming in from Team Falcons, and they're not done just yet. Lark trying to cut down Mlbb as much as he can. Mlbb, he's trying to tank through the damage. Can he find it? No. Goes down to the vengeance of Ding. I'm done with this lane.
He still finds a trade, though. The body of Smith able to keep him alive, plus the spell vamp, just enough to make it worth Fnatic Onyx time. I gotta say, CW's mid-game power spike here at 7 minutes, I think that's what made it a little better for Fnatic Onyx, despite the amazing catch by Ding. That could have been lethal. That could have, if ever it was a switcheroo, if it was CW on the Beatrix and Lark on the Harith, that could have been a wipeout.
Yeah, man. The replay didn't catch the initial play started by Super. He was trying to replicate a game-winning moment from M5 when Keyboy did it himself. The 5-man implosion, he was so close to it. But unfortunately, like, if Kenji just survived a little bit longer, I think he could have cleaned up the entire team. But now the mid lane, oh, Keyboy! He does find Lark! He can't get out of there in time. The Frigid Frost already locking down the tower, but it doesn't really matter anymore. So many members are already dead. And even Kenji, he doesn't want to go in there anymore. He's like, that's too much to handle.
It was a dispersal of Team Falcons. Like, one kill led to another, and it scrambled their formation. There's very little left on the map for Team Falcons to scrunch up. And need I remind you, they're playing with a Ling. It's tough to play from this defensive position. Again, best case scenario, they start splitting the map. They send Kenji down into the bottom lane, but Kyrie is just as quick, just as agile a hero. So they're gonna be playing tag.
I mean, at this point, whoa, okay, all right. I guess they really wanted the buff on that one. Oh, wait, hold on, the Frigid Breath. Oh, into the Glaciers. Well, they fight too. They quickly get out of their iframes. Oh, Keyboy making sure that Goodnight isn't having a good time. Gets pushed underneath the tower. Can somebody dive them already? As we see the Tempest Blades already come out. Man after man being thrown. Fnatic Onyx say no more sacrifices. We've done what we can. We're sorry, Keyboy. We can only get Goodnight.
Ceasefire underneath tier 2 and the inhibitor. Oh, Saz gets a kill, and another body dropped up top.
Man.
Fnatic Onyx don't want to stop.
Yeah, they're just running out of patience. They're sick of this. Team Falcons, you're going to be playing real passive? No worries. We're just going to start walking up. All of this starting because they won their individual lanes.
Kyrie's making big money moves, man. He just picked up the Blade of Despair. That's it. Even Super's going to feel it despite his passive on the Tigreal. Despite building a Dominus Ice, might be too little too late. Fnatic Onyx are looking at about 6,000 gold ahead. I'm thinking, all right, 2, 2, and 3 on Goodnight. Could they maybe win underneath turret? Because look. What does he have on him now? Just the Gideon, just the glowing one.
Yeah, it's really not enough here, and it looks like he might just diversify, right?
Yeah, is he splitting between an HC and...
I don't think so. I think he just wants just a little bit of mana regen,
That's
right?
a little greedy, though.
I think the greedy thing would be going for the Holy Crystal, but we do just see him purchase the Blood Wings. He needs that really bad. That shield is so important. Now he's going to start building into that Holy Crystal to have some relevant damage, but for the time being, I think the power spikes are just not in their favor, right? We're even seeing CW. He's also got a Holy Crystal.
Yeah, but he's in a position to do that. That is disposable income, is what we call it. But right now, check it out. Lord taken here by Fnatic Onyx, no question. Blitzed it. And wow, look, when the cat is away, the mouse goes to play. Team Falcons making a push down bottom, but just as they should, they disperse. They let go. That's dangerous. It's greedy.
He sets the game. Keyboy! Wait, he didn't see it. He turns around. Wait, they don't notice. And then Locke walks out. He could have just stood still. Oh, man. Now he's out of position, gets hit by the wild charge, and another stack for Kyrie.
That's a curious call. Did the wild charge not stop him or spot him? Did it stop right where he wasn't?
I mean, it did cancel the recall, essentially. It should have revealed him at that point in time, but here we go. The implosion down on the bot side of the map to find Kyrie. Not enough to get out of there. Wait, hold on.
That's a shutdown.
It could be an even bigger shutdown here if they get an inhibitor off of this, but Team Falcons should be able to regroup off of that play as the Lord is going to be crashing down from the top side.
Yep. Again, speaking as a fan of the hometown team here, the MPL Mana Champions, you got to say, hey, man, if they're going to win a fight, it's going to be inside their own base. Right? They have pretty good high ground, and they're all here, but they are looking at a Lord, so that's a 6-man, a 5-man coalition. Kyrie's off.
Yeah, and let's keep in mind, right? They can still shut down these inhibitors. Wait, here comes the penalty zone almost instantaneously. They're trying to combo together, but they don't find anything else. The follow-up isn't there. They get rid of the inhibitor, and Team Falcons, man, look, he's so tanky. He's holding on despite that, and CW is able to find a mega kill off of it. Despite the Glacier not finding the right targets, it forces Kenji to use the ult.
Fnatic Onyx playing a little off kilter. When you thought the measure was 4-4, they say, nah, fam, it's a 3-4, and that takes Team Falcons off tempo. They shouldn't be forcing it, but here they are looking for one.
It was so close, but the implosion only finds one. They're gonna get pulled back, but CW finds Super Kyrie already back into play. Team Falcons, they need to clear up these minions as soon as possible. Kenji almost going down in the meantime. Lark, he's the only person who actually has some decent wave clear. Even Good Night, I don't think he has enough damage just yet. Final Slash coming in from Ding to maybe look for a pick back, but it's still 4v4 for the time being. Kyrie can join at any point of time, and that means the next inhibitor shall fall for Team Falcons.
Their last bastion. No more turrets, just the base standing for Team Falcons. Can they do it? Force that Tempest of Blades!
Oh no, such an early Tempest of Blaze. Kenji, he's giving so much respect over to Kyrie, but at the very least, the minion waves have been cleared up, and Team Falcons, with no inhibitors, they're gonna be stuck in their base, turtling up as hard as they can.
The Sky Kings play the disciplined game here, keeping to their timing. They're going for the next objective. They want to finish this game off of an enhanced Lord, spawning about 10 seconds, unless they can find a pick, force in a brilliance from Good Night. Man, if you're talking about just the items and their firepower, Team Falcons can't take a fight, not a fair fight against Fnatic Onyx.
Honestly, I think it's really coming down to the fact that they're always reacting to Fnatic Onyx, right? They're going to use Fnatic Onyx. They're going to use that. They're going to go for a fade, wait for you to use your abilities and punish him. And that's exactly what we see. Kenji goes down, doesn't even have the timing to drop down the Tempest of Blades.
That's gotta be a play that even his teammates would question. You can see in the player cams, Kenji knows that wasn't the right call. That wasn't the right play, and he dove into 3 and 4. Paid the price for it, and Fnatic Onyx secures the Lord off of that pickoff.
Yeah, he underestimated Kyrie, man. Honestly, I think an ult, a single auto attack, he doesn't even need the special steel cables auto attack as well. He can basically one-shot Kenji.
Yep, Kenji's back in about 4. I'm not so sure, though, if this is a position that he wants to be in. Again, you're a Ling. One of your strengths is coming from any angle, coming in from a Finch Poise. There's barely any walls inside the base, so he's going to have to play this very, very carefully. And he gets spotted from top. Very close. Kyrie throws out a cable. Oh, there's a red slash.
Okay, straight away, CW is able to use some Purify. Zaman forces well, penalty zone into Good Night. They're trying to escalate the situation. He dies immediately off the Brilliance, and now the Crystal will fall. Fnatic Onyx take the game, 21 kills to 7.
A clean sweep in a best of 2 by the Sky Kings. Even on home soil, Team Falcons could not make these Kings bleed. Amazing work. I don't know if it is. Maybe it's the Savage that made game 1 all the more sweeter, but game 2 felt quick and just more violent at the same time.
I'm not gonna lie, I think Fnatic Onyx really left an impression onto the Falcons in game 1, right? They weren't as confident as they were. They played very passive comms, and unfortunately, the 2 side lanes, they ended up losing, and Lunox, you can't expect her to scale that fast, so you have to play a slow game.
Not to mention the last couple of minutes where there were glaring errors. You see clearly how maybe communications could be breaking down, and maybe their minds were clear or on point, and they needed to defend inside their own base, but looking at their comp now in hindsight,
yeah, I think, Coach
Saudi
really
Arabia
understood the timings of which they wanted to punish, and, Fnatic Onyx, they're in a position where it's like, all right, if you want to play around timings, that's what we're good at. As long as we control that tempo, we can do whatever we want. And
Nice,
luckily,
1
nobody
million
made a mistake in the
USD
late
yung
phase.
first
big
place.
smiles, I would assume, on Coach Yeb and Coach Addy's faces. I couldn't say
Second
the
place
same
is
for Coach Zico
500,000
and Coach
USD,
Howie
malaki.
Byrne. Man, they worked so hard. They pulled this team out from the dregs of MPL MENA, and they gave the villains, Twisted Minds, a good beating in the finals. Again, 4-1. Who would have thought Twisted Minds spoke a big game? And Team Falcons, this team right here, that Fnatic Onyx swept 2-0, have to go back to the drawing board. Have to figure out, hey man, where did it go wrong? Was it the game? Was it our mental? Was it our draft? Was it our strat? I could only assume.
the two biggest ones, it's draft and mental for me, right? I think the mechanics, they've got it, but they need that level of confidence against in these types of international tournaments.
Well, good news for them is there's 2 more best of 2s that they'll have to fight through. And hey, maybe this is one of the tougher ones that they had to deal with. And now they have to think. There are no losses, only lessons. But that does it for our second match of the day here on this broadcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll go throw over the stage with
Fantastic
Chewe.
tweet from Fnatic Onyx and here with us with the gold laner. CW, congratulations. This is your first series en route to defending your MSC title. Now, that was a great Savage with your Beatrix in Game 1. Did that give you confidence? How do you feel about that?
Sebenarnya kalau dari gua ya nggak terlalu ngejar scrimmage-nya sih, cuman emang kita main tim aja ini yang buat menang.
He says he wasn't really looking for the Savage. That was basically just a bonus. His main priority was to play as a team, but that's what happened, and that's how he was able to perform.
For Savage, and we hope to see many more.
I mean, we definitely want to see a lot more of that in the tournament, but I do have to ask, your group has been dubbed the group of death. So how does that make you feel? Do you think there's any team that could threaten your title in your group?
Jadi Fnatic Onyx kan ada di group of death, itu yang orang-orang bilang kayak grup kematian. Menurut cewek, gimana? Group of death nggak sih? Dan kalau misalkan iya, ada nggak sih salah satu tim di grupnya cewek yang menurut cewek akan menjadi kesulitan buat Fnatic Onyx?
Kalau dari gua emang tim-timnya kuat, bukan grup kita doang. Jadi kayak ya kalau salah satu tim yang paling banyak sekarang orang mention sih SRG.
So he said that all the teams in all the groups are strong. So he doesn't necessarily think that his group is a group of death. But if he had to choose what team would be a very difficult opponent to go against, it would be SRG, the Salamara Giants.
Well, after your performance today, all eyes will be on you. Once again, congratulations with that 2-0. And it's now time to break it down for you. So we're going to go back to our panelists.
Thank you very much, but I have to correct you guys. It's not a group of death. It's the group of death.
Yeah.
Now we gotta go and look into the highlights here, where again, I feel like the Sky King Kyrie on this Fanny, you have to react before something happens, because if not, you're instantly looking at Beth in the face.
That's what we got to see the entire game, I feel. You know, like the Tempest of Blades was used up so many times just to get out, and Kyrie's so good at utilizing the cables and also just reacting to some of these moments. Because let's say, like, one of these moments, we'll get to see it here especially, but let's talk about this. Lark, it almost like he didn't get the memo, man. The 2 other members recalled. He was like, nah, you know what, I'm gonna just walk to safety, and Keyboy spots him in the bush.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the side of Falcons gonna hold Kyrie down. Only with 2 Beths this game.
Oh yeah.
Difficult.
Here's the question, right? Because we look at the draft coming in from Falcons, and remember what we talked about game number 1, where Falcons draft game number 2 has components of draft of Fnatic Onyx in game number 1. And even you guys, the analyst, said that's a difficult draft to actually pilot. So why is it difficult, and why Falcon, they couldn't do it against Fnatic Onyx?
Well, they don't have the necessary tools to kind of control this Fanny. Like, they were forced to go for this Lunox. I think that they should have picked the Valentina instead of the Tigreal at the third slot.
Third pick, yeah.
Definitely this Lunox, although it was able to take 1 kill off of Kyrie, but that, again, 2 deaths, not enough for this Fanny. I think the reason why they weren't able to pull it off is because of the order of picks that they went for.
That was pretty fast, but we got to talk about the Fanny as well. The itemization that Kyrie went for, having the Sky Piercer, having the Blade of Despair. Who can actually tank that?
No one.
No one. No one can tank that.
No one. So some of the times, you know, we saw the Tempest of Blades, we saw the Brilliance as well just pop. They had to do that. And Kyrie, he always cables in a way where if you don't do that, I'll just follow through. But if you do, all right, I'll react to it. That's how fast his reaction time is. Yeah. So we can actually afford to make those risky plays. It will be risky for any other player.
That's right.
But he makes it work.
Okay, gentlemen. MVP of this match. You guys feel it's Kyrie. You guys feel it's CW. The entire match, not the game, entire match. Because again, I feel like multiple members of Fnatic Onyx definitely deserve it.
I think after 2 games might be carry for me. But if I'm just judging game move number 1 alone, definitely Mr. CW himself. But I think overall it's Kyrie, fortunately. No bias.
Yeah, for me, I think it's CW. After that Savage, it was just, they look kind of messy a lot of times, but CW always consistently winning, just like his name.
You know what? So I guess I'm the tiebreaker, right? So whatever I say is probably the true MVP of the game. So for you guys at home, don't forget that Stream B is happening. So in case you guys are watching that, update us as well because we would like to know. And
yeah.
Do you want to know the results of the previous match?
Do tell.
2-0 Falcon was able to beat Cloud9.
Okay. Whew.
You know what? That's a very interesting point there. And again, you guys have the option to watch Stream A and Stream B. Here's the thing. Let me tell you what to do. Buy another monitor and watch both at the same time. It's not that hard.
Or get an ROG phone and multitask.
Yeah, get an ROG phone and multitask. That's right.
I don't have a phone or monitor.
That's a lie.
You know what? For you guys at home, you guys can let us know what do you guys think, because you guys can scan the QR code down below here and actually let us know what do you guys think, because again, we want to improve the show for you guys. Your opinion matters, and whatever you guys say, we'll follow. We love the fans, don't we?
Yeah, we love the
every single time I look at the comment section and I'm like, yes.
Okay.
You are correct.
We love the fans.
We love the fans.
The comment section, though.
Dude, I love the fans and I love the air conditioning.
Oh yeah. They're cool.
They make you cool.
Yeah, but no joke. I think the best chat in the world is Mirko's chat, dude.
Oh,
best fans in the world.
Okay, you know what? Here's the thing. You guys, we're talking about the MVP. My MVP is Suns. So if we have a highlight or something, we gotta look at it, because again, Suns was. Again, I gotta say, Fnatic Onic, it's very difficult to pick an MVP.
Even Lutpi was doing really well.
Even Lutpi was doing well, right? Let's look at the highlights here. And Sans on this Aurora reminds me of Stormy. Maybe that's why they shout out the Selangor Red Giants.
Yeah, man. And this in game number 2, he also again showed us how good he is at calculating pixels. There were so many times where his ultimate was able to get onto the edge and still was able to freeze his opponents. The timing as well. You're gonna see it once more. It was the clash before, but yeah, he was able to reach on to a nice Lutpi, taking advantage of this Terizla with the life steal. I think we're gonna see our MVP presented by Sony.
Yeah, presented by Sony. KDA 14-0. Gold per minute doesn't matter. You're a mid laner, kill 67%. And again, looking at the itemization here, he was able to build the Holy Crystal. But I gotta say, looking at that game, he might not even need it. The damage was already a lot. And the important thing as an Aurora is the control.
And the fact that he got it as a second item after Blood Wings really just means that he was able to burst down his enemies. And I think the problem with Ling as well as those assassin type of is that if you fail on your combo and you let the Aurora survive with the passive, obviously, the punish is just way too good, and you have the amount of burst that Aurora can put up with this Holy Crystal.
And I mean, look at game number 1, right? He was on a Farsa. That was a vulnerable pick. You don't have a passive to save you when you get low or when you actually lose your HP bar.
Yeah.
Imagine now with another HP bar, with technically that passive. So he went from unkillable to unkillable?
He's not killable, but either way. Look, English is difficult, but what's not difficult is that saying thank you to you guys. You guys have been amazing, but we're going for a short break before we go into the match number 3.